TV7 Israel News is made possible thanks to your generous donation. Shalom ve'erev tov, good evening. Welcome to our daily TV7 Israel News Bulletin, broadcast from Jerusalem. Israel is set to significantly bolster its air power with approved acquisitions of dozens of additional advanced aircraft. President Donald Trump has rejected Tehran's latest proposal, as part of which the Ayatollah regime essentially demanded the United States accept defeat. And the U.S. Central Command is forcibly opening the Strait of Hormuz as part of Operation Freedom Project. Israel is racing towards significantly bolstering its military capabilities with the core aim of retaining air superiority in all regional theaters.
Israel is stronger than ever, and Israel must always be significantly stronger than our enemies. Therefore, I advocate for two principles: strengthening and independence. Regarding strengthening, we are acquiring 2 squadrons of advanced aircraft, the F-35 and the F-15IA. These aircraft bolster Israel's overwhelming air superiority, a superiority that was proven in Operation Rising Lion and now in Operation Roaring Lion. Our pilots can reach any point in the skies of Iran, and they are prepared to do so if required. We have incredible aircraft and we have incredible pilots.
In addition to the new squadrons of F-35 stealth fighters and F-15IA multi-role aircraft, Jerusalem's Ministerial Committee for Force Buildup approved a direct investment of 350 billion shekels, equal to over 118 billion US dollars or 101 billion euros, over the course of a decade, into domestic production of munitions aimed at ending Israel's dependence on foreign sources during times of emergency.
I have directed investment into the domestic production capacity of munitions. Over the coming decade, we will add 350 billion shekels to the defense budget to manufacture these munitions here in Israel, ensuring we are not dependent on foreign sources. Simultaneously, we will develop groundbreaking Israeli-made aircraft. This will change the entire picture. As for the drones, a few weeks ago, I ordered the establishment of a special project to thwart the drone threat, and a progress report on the matter will be presented to me today. It will take time, but we are on it. We will continue to ensure Israel's superiority in all arenas.
Meanwhile, the diplomatic track between the United States and the Ayatollah regime in Iran continues to falter, as the Islamic Republic persistently refuses any true concessions to its enrichment program. Among the 14 points of an Iranian proposal, Tehran demanded the United States withdraw all of its forces from neighboring countries in the region, removal of the naval blockade, a new mechanism for transit of vessels through the Strait of Hormuz, which essentially violates international law, American reparations for the destruction of RGC assets, and U.S. assurances against future aggression, among others.
They want to make a deal, but I'm not satisfied with it, so we'll see what happens.
Did it move the needle at all?
Iran wants to make a deal because they have no military left, essentially, and they want to make a deal, but I'm not satisfied. They're having a tremendous problem getting along with each other in Iran. The leadership is very disjointed. It's got 2 to 3 groups, maybe 4, and it's a very disjointed leadership. And with that being said, they all want to make a deal, but they're all messed up.
President Trump was further asked by a reporter on whether he plans military action against Iran.
Are you considering new strikes on Iran?
Why would I tell you that?
Subsequently, in a telephone interview President Trump held with Israel's state television, Kan, the American leader said he had rejected the new Iranian proposal to end the war, dubbing Tehran's terms unacceptable. Subsequently, the Iranian Foreign Ministry confirmed that it had received the American response to the Ayatollah regime's proposal, labeling it excessive.
بله ما پاسخ آمریکا رو از طریق پاکستان دریافت کردیم.
Yes, we have received the United States response via Pakistan. Please allow me not to discuss the details of it at this time that have been presented, as they are currently under review. However, you can well imagine that it is not easy for the United States to abandon its habit of excessive demands and unreasonable demands. Therefore, we are still facing a party that both continually changes its positions and raises issues that could in practice disrupt any diplomatic process.
هر روند دیپلماتیکی رو ممکنه دچار مشکل بکنه.
The terror regime's foreign ministry spokesman continued by addressing Tehran's belligerence against freedom of commercial navigation in the Strait of Hormuz, insisting that the world must blame the United States and Israel for Iran's attacks and piracy, and that for safe passage to occur, ships must coordinate with the RGC and pay a toll.
تنگه هرمز تا قبل از 9 اسفند بدون هیچ
The Strait of Hormuz, until February 28th, had been a safe and secure route for international shipping traffic without any problems. The international community must hold the United States and the Zionist regime accountable for imposing insecurity on this waterway, for creating problems that are being felt across the world, and must prevent the United States from further complicating the existing situation. Certainly, ships, shipowners, and shipping companies are well aware that ensuring their safety and security requires coordination with the relevant authorities of the Islamic Republic of Iran.
To the regret of the Ayatollah regime, President Donald Trump announced the launch of Operation Freedom Project today, which essentially aims at forcibly opening the Strait of Hormuz to vessels which were essentially stuck in the Persian Gulf. Consequently, U.S. military's Central Command announced, quote, American forces are actively assisting efforts to restore transit for commercial ships. As a first step, 2 U.S.-flagged merchant vessels have successfully transited through the Strait of Hormuz and are safely headed on their journey. In response, attempting to dissuade any additional vessels from transiting the strait, the RGC published a statement claiming to have attacked 2 American destroyers transiting the Strait of Hormuz. Nevertheless, U.S. Central Command immediately published a response refuting the Iranian claim. Now turning to Washington, where U.S. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, during a Senate Armed Services Committee hearing over the weekend, sought to remind the American lawmakers on the reason the United States had launched Operation Epic Fury in the first place.
Looking at the objectives we set out to achieve from the beginning, some of which you laid out, our military objectives have been stunningly effective. Take, for example, their defense industrial base. They're completely incapable at scale at any level of reconstituting the capabilities you referred to, which is a devastating result for any country, especially one whose ambitions are as wide as Iran's. So we've put the president in a very strong position to ensure Iran never gets a nuclear weapon. That's the takeaway that's been underneath every single aspect of this. For 47 years, Iran's trying to blackmail its way to a nuclear weapon. They were closer than ever before because of bad deals under previous administration. President Trump was willing to do something about it and not allow their conventional missile shield. That's the North Korea strategy. That's, to be clear, what Iran was pursuing. Hiding their nuclear ambitions, revealing them over time, and then building a conventional shield of missiles so powerful that no country would challenge them for fear of what would happen if they unleashed that arsenal.
The U.S. military chairman of the Joint Chiefs of General Staff, General Dan Kane, was subsequently asked whether Operation Epic Fury had had any impact on Russia or China.
The willingness of the American military to fight and win, do you think it's changed the calculus for Beijing and Moscow?
Well, Senator, I know they're watching. And I'm incredibly proud of the joint force and their ability to integrate and synchronize a range of activities. And I suspect that my counterpart in China is watching very closely and envious of what our joint force is capable of doing if ordered to do so.
The U.S. military's top officer was subsequently asked to confirm whether Russia actively supported the Ayatollah regime in its war against the United States and its regional allies.
General Kane, there's no question that Vladimir Putin's Russia is taking serious action to undermine our efforts for success in Iran. Is there any question about that?
Senator, I think there's actions and activities that are mindful of the hearing room we're in, but there's definitely some action there.
It is important to highlight that over the weekend, including today, the United States continues to send additional military equipment and munitions to the Middle East, essentially securing a military buildup of almost 3 times the capacity that had existed prior to the opening strikes of Operation Epic Fury on February 28th. Thank you for watching TV7 Israel News, which is made possible by the generosity of our viewers. If you would like to help support TV7 Israel, which is exclusively donation-based, you can do so via our website at www.tv7israelnews.com. Please keep praying for the peace of Jerusalem and redemption of Israel. I'm Jonathan Essen, wish you a Shavua Mevorach, and, God willing, until our next update, Shalom from Jerusalem.